Hello, this is davidji, and welcome to this week's Life Tools. Every week I receive an email from someone who asks if I'm supposed to spend all my time in the present moment. What about my goals? What about my dreams? This all comes back to attention and intention. So it's important to set goals. It's important to crystallize your dreams and create those targets for where you want to go. In a business context, or any type of corporate setting, even your own company, we would always say, what am I trying to achieve? By when? What are the results that I'm hoping to garner in that moment? And then we would create a work back schedule. What are all the activities of everyone involved in that process? What do I need to do if I'm acting brilliantly and executing perfectly and performing mindfully to actually get to that place, hit my target by a certain date? I remember in one of my last jobs that I had, the CFO was breathing down my neck every single day and saying, are we gonna hit our goals? Are we gonna hit our goals? Are we gonna hit our goals? And had I not been meditating, I probably would have popped my head off and had so much anxiety, and I wouldn't have slept at night, and there would have been all these issues. But when he asked me, I would check in on everyone involved in that process. I would check in on my own activities, my own actions, and I would ask myself, is everyone executing at the highest level? Are there any weaknesses here? I would perform a SWOT analysis on every single aspect of the process. And then I would let go again of those goals and targets. I would tell him we're on track, and I would put my attention back on performing brilliantly in that moment. And that's the key. We should have goals, we should have targets, we should have all these incredible types of dreams out there with very specific data points along the way, timelines, by whens. That's so critical to any form of accomplishment. We don't just want to show up and hope, but we can let go of the outcome if our attention is on performing brilliantly in the present moment. And if we suddenly realize, I'm gonna miss that target, I'm gonna miss that deadline, then reel it back and figure out what are the things I need to put in place right now to accelerate the workflow, or what are the things I need to say or do to allow for my deadline to get extended, or for my target or my goal to be moved. Now, we don't want to make excuses. Setting a high goal is very, very important. And just like Bruce Lee would always do, we want to punch through whatever that target is, not just coast into it. But we can very easily do that if we place our attention on the present moment, perform mindfully, and execute brilliantly. And that's the key. That's the key. I'm often asked, I live in the sweet spot, and people say, I'm in LA. How do I get from LA to the sweet spot? And I often say, take your foot, put it on the accelerator, and do this. Occasionally move it to the brake. Keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Check my mirrors and watch your speed. It's not, oh, what am I gonna do when I get to the sweet spot? We know what you're gonna do. It's meditate. But that's a very, very important aspect. If we think about what's going to happen when we hit our goal, and that's where our attention is, and that's where our fear is, then most likely we won't hit it. So set your goals realistically, always dream big, soar high, execute brilliantly, and perform mindfully. From the sweet spot of the universe, this is davidji, and I'm wishing you a day of goal setting, target focusing, mindful performance, and brilliant execution. Namaste.